feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Hey everybody, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. I'm your host, Ted Jenkins, sitting here with my co-host, Chris Hanks, who's the executive director and founder of the Shore Center for Entrepreneurship. We are joined today by our guest, Travis Shepard, who is the owner of CrossFit Remnant. For those of you that have never checked out a CrossFit facility, you got to get a workout with this guy and his team. All sorts of cool stuff that's down there. And you can get a replay of all of our broadcasts at shrimptankpodcast.com. You can download us at the iTunes store or on Google Play. Listen, if you want to get an MBA in entrepreneurship, you can read a lot of books, but it's not until you get in the trenches and you actually start doing it that you'll learn more about being an entrepreneur. And that's why we bring you the Shrimp Tank. And this podcast every single week is to help you get that MBA in entrepreneurship.
So one question I wanted to ask is, like, how did you find CrossFit, and also what exactly is it? Because I've heard the term, but I would imagine a lot of people like that are watching this right now, or like me, don't have a clear mental picture of what CrossFit actually is.
Yeah, great question. CrossFit is nothing new. It's a bunch of old school training methodologies smushed into 1 hour. By and large, CrossFit's a group fitness class led by 1, 2, or 3 coaches. It is strength training, cardio, agility, balance, cardiovascular, power. There's 10 general physical principles, and they're smushed together into 1 hour. Functional movement, this is your answer. It's functional movement. It's constantly varied, and it's typically performed at high intensity. So functional movement, the way we move the body in real life, we're going to move it in the gym. It's constantly varied. Every day is a different workout, unless we're going to measure some baseline stuff. And then it's performed at intensity, which we tell our clients that's the only shortcut towards results is your intensity. But we don't ask people to go super intense until they're safe and ready. I found CrossFit 2007 and on the West Coast on Coronado Island, and there was 2 CrossFit gyms in Georgia. They're early adapters, and I've been 11 years now. We've got special shoes and special wrist wraps now, but really it's a garage gym where you show up with 10 of your best friends and you just get after it.
I think it's pretty cool stuff, and you talked about a lot of interesting stuff on the podcast today, and one of the things I found most interesting, and I thought people might find this interesting on the post-show wrap-up, is kids. You had mentioned during the podcast today that you just did a workout for 21 middle school children that are out there, and that there are kids out there that are actually doing, which blew my mind. I didn't think a lot of kids were doing CrossFit. Why is it good for parents to potentially get their kids into CrossFit as opposed to doing youth soccer leagues where they get participation trophies and basically they don't even run at all?
Well, I mean, y'all tell me, like, you grew up in the 70s, 80s? Okay.
Yeah, I was in the 70s,
yeah,
not the 60s. I'm not there yet.
I was trying to pick my numbers right. I grew up in the 80s, and we played all kinds of sports, jack of all. Now you have kids specializing when they're 10 years old on travel. These guys are playing so much skill-based stuff. We're going to get them in the gym and get them stronger, leaner, faster, but really tougher. We're going to take your 13-year-old kid who complains about his Wi-Fi takes too long, and we're going to make him put his phone down and work out in an unair-conditioned gym for 60 minutes. And we had 3 people quit the gym because they didn't have AC. I was like, hey, this is not the place for you.
AC.
60 minutes, you're going to sweat. We are going to demand that you push yourself at your own, the best version of you. You're going to push yourself. Lee's going to push himself. And after the end of the hour, your kid's going to be tougher.
Like that.
Parents are eating it up.
Tougher. Yeah. Like it.
So one of the things that aspiring entrepreneurs continually ask is, how do I raise capital? So what advice would you give to somebody about the challenge of raising capital?
When I pushed all my chips in and said, I'm going to open up a service-based business in Alpharetta, and I realized how much I needed to raise, I had meetings with some of the wealthiest people that I knew, North Atlanta business meetings. They wanted a piece of the pie. These were guys way sharper, shrewder than me. And my cousin, who owns a factoring company in Texas, said, don't give up any equity. If you can, hang on to your equity. He was like, by the way, what's your interest rate on your credit cards? I had no idea because I just paid it off each month. I didn't think about it. Long story short, I called my credit card company. They said, here's X amount of dollars at 0% interest, 18 months. I opened up 4 cards on the same day, had access to the cash I needed at 0% interest for 18 months, cheapest money I could find. And at the end of the day, if the business went under, I wasn't owing Uncle Vinny a bunch of money, and now family Christmas is awkward. I'm paying back Bank of America, and they're hedged their bets, and it's not and so because I had now my credit's not wasn't awesome for a year and a half because I had all this open debt. But it was credit card debt service, and I was ashamed at first to say I opened up all this credit card debt. But now I look back like, okay, that was the cheapest money I could find.
Folks that are watching the post-show wrap-up today, what's the most favorite workout that you have at CrossFit? I know there's all these workouts that are called Murph and other things like that. And what's the favorite workout that you have?
Yeah, we just did Murph Memorial Day. We've got a SEAL who died 2005, and when he was overseas, a lot of Americans don't know this, but when we're on deployment, there's some downtime, and you're with the same guys for 18 hours each day. Like, let's go work out because I can't be around you. And so Mike Murphy ran a mile. He did 100 pull-ups. He did 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and ran another mile. And he wore his body armor because you train like you fight. And so you just wear all your shit when you're working out, and it makes you competent on the battlefield. And so he unfortunately died 2005. And so every Memorial Day we do this workout to honor Mike Murphy, Danny Dietz, and Matt Axelson, the 3 SEALs who died in Afghanistan. And I wouldn't say it's the favorite. It's probably the most feared. I mean, we have people train all year for the Murph.
What about the one piece of equipment, if you're at home and you can't afford a CrossFit, and you could just buy like one piece of equipment that you could use to do a lot of stuff at home, what's one piece of CrossFit equipment somebody could buy at home that they could use and at least help them get in better shape than they are today?
Yeah, first of all, everyone can afford CrossFit. Just cancel your damn cable bill.
Yeah, cancel cable, go to CrossFit.
That's right. Secondly, I would say get that's a great question. I would get a barbell.
Just a barbell.
Yeah, just get a 45-pound barbell. You could do so much with a 45-pound barbell, and it really, you could do CrossFit for free. That's how it started. We used to make wall balls and make boxes out of old pieces of wood. I mean, it started very grassroots and grungy. So, it's a great question.
I learned early on. My buddy Lee Heisman showed me that a 10-pound medicine ball, just one of those, could actually crush you in a workout. It's pretty crazy stuff. So for folks that are watching the post-show wrap-up, they want to get in touch with you and CrossFit Remnant, come down for a workout for the damn few and get better at what they do. How can they do that?
Yeah, we're on social media, CrossFit Remnant, on Instagram and Facebook. But really, I would encourage everybody, because your listeners are all over the world, I would say look up your local CrossFit gym. Just go to CrossFit.com and type in your state, and you're going to find all your local gyms on the Google map. The Google map. I feel like a old man. Yeah. Go on the Google. Go on the YouTubes. And I just encourage everybody to try it and see if it works for you. Don't count it out till you tried it for 60 days.
Well, what we know in the post-show wrap-up here today, and thanks for coming on the show, by the way, is that just like working out and getting physically fit, you might want to ask yourself, from what Travis talked about today on the program, maybe you need a WOD for your business. What's your workout of the day for your business? What's the one thing that you have to do that day that if you execute, and you execute well, you'll be a better entrepreneur in your business? So between getting physically fit at CrossFit, doing the WOD in your business, that's how you can become a successful entrepreneur, and that's your post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond.